Bob Coleman, founder of Coleman Publishing, with us right now. Bob, it has been so long since I've seen you. I am sorry you're out there, but at least I get to see you. How are you?
Oh, it's great to be here. It's good to see you also. Thank you so much. LA, I think it's going to be 80 degrees today, so we are having a nice time out here.
So feel free to continue to rub that in. Bob, you are the small business champion of the world. So give us the state of the state on small business lending.
Well, you're very kind, but unlike you, I did my homework. I watched the State of the Union speech and reporting back to you to talk about that, and I got nothing.
Excellent.
I got nothing to say. He mentioned small business once in his speech.
And isn't that funny? Because all along he's been saying we got to help our small businesses, we got to get banks to make loans to small businesses, and there was no mention of it whatsoever. So where does that leave us?
Well, we all realize, whether we're Republican, Democrat, Independent, we want to get the recovery going. How are we going to do that? Small business creates 65% of the jobs in the country. That's where we're going to do this. That's where the jobs are created. We need to get people back to work. People want to get back to work, and we want to get the economy going. So it's embarrassing that basic economic principle was given short shrift last night.
Okay, so tell me, what are you seeing? Any like little spark sprouts come up? Any lending going on out there?
Tracy, last time we talked, it was pretty dismal.
What?
Yes, you're seeing good things happening. Yesterday we did a webinar for the hotel industry, and deals are being done. Mom and pop, they're buying these hotels, they're buying these franchises. So you're seeing activity in that. It's very difficult for our small business bankers to lend money today. For a variety of reasons, the regulators are putting pressure on them. The economics don't make sense. So what the banks need is they need to have some sort of inducement. They need to have help to reduce the risk. And the government intervention in the small business program, Tracy, 90% of those deals under $5 million were done with an SBA guarantee.
Wow.
So deals are being done, and that's good news.
That's great news, actually. So, all right, so if I'm a small business and I'm looking for money, should I contact the SBA?
Talk to your bank. You won't even deal with the SBA. You won't deal with the government. The SBA is a little known secret. Tracy, what do all these have in common? Freddie, Fannie, AIG, GM, Chrysler. They all needed a bailout. Small Business Administration did not need a bailout from the taxpayer. That program is paid for by the fees, by the lender, and the borrower. It's a great program, and it helps tens of thousands of businesses to create hundreds of thousands of jobs. Talk to your bank. You'll never even deal with the SBA. The bank does all the paperwork for you.
The trend, though, is to the community banks are back in vogue again, aren't they? The big banks are so hard to muddle through, but the community guy, is he or she at a position where they can say, look, I know you are an outstanding member of this community, I'm going to make you a loan?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Community banks is where deals are being done. They know you, they know the community, they know the project. And you asked who to talk to. Go talk to your community banker. Get involved in your community. I'm not dishing the large boys, but they certainly have their problems. But community banks, if you look at the small business rankings, they are really stepping up and doing that niche for Main Street.
You make an important point that the SBA did not need a bailout and that it is just holding on just fine. But there's got to be some industries that are still struggling to get, the backing of the SBA, right? You said hotel and motel financing is doing okay. Is there stuff you're seeing that's really having a tough time?
It's hard to generalize. The answer is everything's tough.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but deals, I think the good news is you need to focus on deals are being done. I don't think banks are saying, oh, you know what, we're not going to do restaurants, because we all know restaurants are risky. You know what, Tracy? Restaurants are the #1 source of small business loans. So that doesn't quite make sense. But deals are being done. If you have a good plan, a good team, a good concept, good equity, you can get financing.
That was actually the final thing I was going to ask you. Is it different? Is the application process different now? Back in the day, you had to be able to show some sort of revenue. Well, nobody has that anymore.
Yeah, you're right. It's tough. And we're sort of going old school. Bankers have something that every beginning banker I learned many years ago called the 5 C's. And one of the C's is character. And you know what? The number one C these days is character. Cash flow is down because profits are down. Our house's equity is diminished. On a 401k, our significant other may not be employed. So collateral has gone down. So the bankers are going old school. And the first thing they want to look at is, do you have the ability to execute this plan and pay me back? If we lend you money for a restaurant, we don't want restaurant equipment back. We want cash back.
Yeah, amen. Bob, it's so good to see you, and I love hearing about this.
Nice. Thank you so much.
All right, good. So then you'll come back.
Absolutely, anytime. Thanks a lot, Tracy.
Bob Coleman, like I said, he is the small business guru du jour. Check out his book, Coleman founder, Coleman Publishing. Good stuff. Bob's the best. Bob knows everything there is to know about small businesses.